Hello to all my witches, warlocks, writers, and wanderers. How are you this afternoon, evening, good morning, wherever you are? It is 12/12, it equals 24, a portal day that is going to be of immense magic manifestation power. It is 1 p.m. We're here to do some talking points and some rants and some sprints to get some work done. I am KibbyRose. I will cover witchy points, some horoscopes, some talking points. So let me roll the intro and we can get this thing going. You know, eventually, someday, one day, I'll have an actual real professional opener so I could just like, hi, everybody, instead of doing all this whole schmeal. I promise it'll happen one day. All right, so it is some crazy, crazy power today with E 12/12 portal. And considering it's 12 plus 12 equals 24 and it's 2024, it is, we're talking some major level energy this weekend. Not only that, but we've got the moon's conjunction with Jupiter that is bringing in growth and abundance. Why am I about to cough? It is winter here. Anyway, as I was saying, we've got the moon conjunction with Jupiter coming in with some major growth and abundance energy. We've got the full moon this weekend. We've got today's 12/12. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Sunday, we've got on the 15th, we've got the full moon. This coming week, we've got the 21st, which is the winter solstice. Mercury ends its retrograde. We've got so much coming in with Venus and Mars opposition and Venus and Pluto in conjunction with each other. It's insane. It is insane. It is insane. So if you are not spending this holiday season literally ironing out the details of your life and figuring out and manifesting what you want for 2025, what are you doing? Because here's your proof, y'all. Okay. Right here. How do I make that bigger? I want that bigger. That's not big enough. I had a bigger layout a minute ago. Now, where did it go? Okay, well, hopefully you can see it. It's not. Okay, well, it's fighting with me. I've heard StreamYard has been a little difficult for people this morning, so I'm not surprised that it's literally fighting with me. So, but as you can read here, we have a manifestation, a key time to manifestation that allows us to set goals for the future and advance upon situations that are already happening according to numerology. Okay, so with that and the karmic lesson for the next year, going to be responsibility and wisdom. That's the karmic lesson for next year. And the positive side of things, the energy, the universal energies for the push of positive side of things are spiritual growth, universal love, and completion. With this cold moon, which is the longest moon before the new season, and the fact that it's a cold moon, which is great for shadow work, the universal energies, guys, are lined up to iron out those details and create manifestation for the new year. Because basically anybody who hasn't been doing a good job this year is going to face responsibility and wisdom next year. And those who have spent the year doing the best they can is going to face spiritual growth, universal love, and completion. So it is going to be an insane, intense, strong year coming forward. And today is the day to do your ritual work. And this weekend to do, if you have a long form spell, this is why I'm bringing it in today, is basically if you have a long form spell that you need to do for a couple of days, use today with the Friday the 13th, with the Jupiter and going in conjunction with the full moon that is in Gemini, that is going to bring balance with the longest cold moon, with the longest moon. I mean, guys, do your shadow work long manifestation spells this weekend. It is the perfect universal alignment energies. Okay. What do you think I'm going to be doing this weekend? Okay. So that's just a heads up, because Mercury, here's another thing that also influences all of this. Mercury ends its retrograde. So the only so literally the aggression and the assertiveness of Mercury is going to put a push towards any manifestations you do this weekend as well, because it literally starts turning the right way. So, and then you've got the moon coming into conjunction with Mars on the 28th. And then you've got the December solstice on the 21st. And then you've got the moon in conjunction with Mercury on the 28th. And all of those, where'd it go? I had it here a second ago. Hold on. Let me bring it up real quick because I had it here a second ago. All of those obviously have meaning. So the moon in conjunction with Mars that happens on the 18th brings in assertiveness, but you also got to remember that Mars is still in retrograde right now. Okay. So yes, it's going to bring in assertiveness, but it's going to bring an inward type of assertiveness. So again, good energies to iron out the details and everything else. Okay. And then on the 28th, this wrist has been bothering me today, so I'm not surprised I couldn't hold on to that. The moon goes into conjunction with Mercury, which means intelligence and an active mind. Like literally everything is lining up. And then on the 30th, we have a new moon for the new year. So, and then the sun moves into Capricorn on the new year. So literally, this is the shift that I had been reiterating to a lot of my clients. This is something I've been saying for a very long time, that at the end of 2024, there was going to be a universal cosmic shift, that if basically you haven't been spending this time learning, taking accountability and doing right, you're going to have some negative stuff come in. You're going to be learning your lessons. And on that note, following my taking accountability, I said some information yesterday. I was listening back, and I seem to have got caught up a little bit in listening to my angels talk versus listening to what was coming out of my mouth. And I stated that some of the stuff that I said yesterday was fact. And I am going to completely retract that statement, because nothing I said yesterday was fact. All of it was opinions and psychic intuition developments that I brought in, that I hold and resurrect to change or retract at any time. None of that was set in stone, and I have no problem apologizing for saying that it was fact, because it absolutely was not. These are all, when I do my rants, they're all predictions that I make, and I put them out there basically because normally I write them down to put them on record to see whether I'm right or wrong. Whenever I say the stuff that when I'm communing with my angels and giving information, it's usually 70-30 unless I have absolute fact. Like it's right there in front of me on paper, 100% fact. So I just wanted to say that, because accountability and change is something I have been working on literally since 2017, since my accident. And I needed to do that because I caught that yesterday listening back. And I was like, yeah, I absolutely have to retract that statement, because none of that was fact. All of it was literally just predictions. And the TikTok psychic has done enough damage for our community that I will not be adding to it. So on that note, hi Cora, hi everyone. In the waiting room of my son's appointment, yay! Wanted to search my next book's notes I made last year, but I've been reading instead. It's okay. How am I going to put this? You kind of need to treat this time right now as a college student. Right now, it's more like just study for the test, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to catch up on. Don't worry about jumping into the next project just yet. You don't need to finalize any decisions right now, and it's not good energy for you anyway. You're on the positive side of the Virgo thing. So even though the roller coaster is going to fall, I saw your text message, and your roller coaster is going to fall more in that department versus the other departments. And that's why your angels are literally picking up other sides of things, if that makes sense. So, I wouldn't stress too much that you're not jumping into the next book real quickly, because of the fact that you are going to be able to, maneuver later, plan for things, like catch up on your notes, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to catch up on. Sorry, my foot. That you need to catch up on that, will help out a little bit more. Okay, my dear. All right, so real quick, the couple of things that I did want to cover today, other than the quick overview that I just gave of energies, and also it's 11:11 or 1:11 my time. Make a wish, guys. So I did that. So I posted a TikTok. If you guys haven't seen it, there's links in my bio down below that you can go look at. But I recently went with my mom down to the Davenport Hotel in Spokane, Washington, and it was absolutely stunning. Her and I are hoping to make another trip back there before they change out all the Christmas decorations, because when we went, it was quite busy because they were doing this Christmas extravaganza thing where it was a raffle for the symphony. And there was a lot of people at the time that we went, and it was very crowded, and it was very, I am the type of person that I enjoy the art, the pictures, or the history, the stuff in the cases, the architecture of the building. And the Davenport Hotel, if you've never done research on it, first of all, I highly suggest to go look at my pictures on TikTok. Then I suggest looking up some of the history on it on the internet. But number one, it's a beautiful hotel. Number two, Spokane, I'm trying to love you. However, the people in Spokane are making it very difficult for me to love it here. When walking around the Davenport, I had no problem understanding that I was not there for the same thing as maybe everyone else. My mom was, but I wasn't. So I had no problem staying to the outside of the crowd. However, when I'm standing there and looking at stuff inside a glass case that I'm enjoying, and I have a lady with a stroller literally run into me and tell me that I need to, I forget exactly what she said, because I tried to not remember, I try not to focus too much energy on that kind of stuff. But it was like that the whole time. Like it felt like I was in everybody's way simply because I wasn't doing what everybody else was doing. And I wanted to enjoy my experience at the Davenport Hotel. However, the only time I really enjoyed myself was when I literally was far away from everyone else. And so my mom had a great time, which was a good thing, and I'm glad that she enjoyed herself. However, her and I had decided that since we're going to have to go back and enjoy it when it's not so crowded. The other thing is I ended up going to the Red Robin restaurant that's right next to, or right between the mall and the Davenport Hotel. And this seems to be happening at a lot of places. It's just, I try to usually give the utmost customer service to people when I can, especially when I worked in customer service, because I worked in customer service for, 20 plus years. And it really does frustrate me when it's not reciprocated out in public. And I just want to say that my experience at Red Robin was unfortunately appalling, to the point that I didn't even eat. I let my mom eat, and I ate a couple fries off her plate. But unfortunately, it's the same experience that I've had at multiple locations here. And I don't understand how the city is so much in a deficit when it's very clear when you travel around the city that they're not putting the money into the city. It's like, where is all the money going? Where is all the money going? So I had to get that off my chest because I've been here for a year. I've really, really been trying to love Spokane. And it's just gotten to the point now where it's like, I don't like, my happy place is literally my home and I don't want to leave. And there's times when I'm absolutely glad that they can deliver groceries and I don't really have to go out in public unless I'm looking for something particular. So, yeah. So anyway, with the energies that were going on, I'm just going to manifest that hopefully not only, good things come for me, but that good things come for Spokane, because the city needs to step it up a notch. At the 1-year anniversary mark, I will be doing a rant on Royal Life Centers, which was a place that I worked at here, which is a rehab facility that I worked at here for a minute. I would like it to get to the 1-year mark, because even though it was pretty much mutually agreed that I was leaving at the same time that they were letting me go. I wrote so many letters to the city and the state and the government level about my concerns regarding a waste of taxpayers' money in regards to that, and never got a response. So, and then after living here for a year and seeing that the city's in deficit, I'm like, So at the 1-year mark, my 1-year anniversary mark of working there, I will be doing my little rant on that. So I have a lot coming up where I've given Spokane a year, and at 1-year anniversary marks of certain things, I will be ranting. So that was the plan, to start the next book in the spring, just taking the next couple of months to go over and modify ideas. That's exactly what you want to be doing, because even I know this. I was going to say they're showing me this, but I already know this is confirmation. Yeah, you got multiple projects on the burners in multiple different places. So you kind of need to focus. You need to take the time to check all the pots and stir what needs to be stirred, lid what needs. Yeah, it's just, you need to take care of all the pots you've got on the stove, because you've been balancing them well, but it's time. Some of them can be taken off the burner and thrown in the sink. Some of them need to be stirred up a little bit, so on and so forth. So hello, Banks Bills. Unfortunately, I don't do free questions. Cora is actually a current client of mine, which is why I don't mind answering questions for her. You are more than welcome to contact me on any of the social medias below, and we can get in communications regarding that. But my services, unfortunately, my talents are not for free. And I like to keep it that way. I do horoscopes overviews. So if you like to, on my last views in the past, all of my lives, I do, for the Wednesday lives, I do a Wednesday, Thursday overview for every sign. And on Thursday lives, I do a weekend overview. So I highly recommend liking and subscribing and coming back and watching the lives to get those. On Wednesdays, I do them at the beginning of the streams. On Thursdays, I do them at the end of the streams. And other than that, find me on social medias and we can maybe set up an appointment. In case you're wondering, it's $40 for the first hour for new clients. And then it's $60 every hour after that. So just in case anybody's wondering. So if there is anybody, but Cora is actually a current client. She's been a client of mine for several years now, which is why she lives cross country with me. So from me. So this is one of the ways that she's able to get readings without, because she's busy with 3 kids under the age of 7, under the age of 7. Yeah. And married and in another state. And has books coming out, and has like that woman's life is just so damn busy that this is the one way that we can commune. I have no problem doing readings for new clients. Just unfortunately, I can't offer my services for free. Anyway, on that note, but we are, for anybody who's interested, I am going to go over. We're going to do a sprint real quick, but I have to first share my screen because we're professionals here. It's fine. Because we've got our timer. We switch to here. So we've got our 20-minute timer for our 20-minute sprints, which we're going to do. Slide that down. All right. And then after that 20-minute sprint, we're going to go over the Yule dinner prep, because I actually did it. And I just want to give you guys like an overview of what I did. And then for those of you that practice, I'm going to give you what I do for my altar. You can kind of see I have a little setup already. This is not my full altar. This is just for my streaming. My real altar is in my bedroom. There will be a TikTok on it later. So I'm just sending everybody to my social medias. So we're going to do that after the sprint. And then at the end of this stream, I am going to do our horoscopes, because I do have the weekend horoscope overviews. So from there, we're going to switchy out the pluggies, and I have some good news. I might be getting a new computer or investing in a new computer, since my laptop is only going to last for so much longer. And I've been able to kind of pinch pennies and scrounge pennies and come together with enough and cut costs in other places to be able to maybe get a new computer. We're going to see what happens. It's not permanent. I'm not promising anything, but one of my ports in my laptop will not charge. And if anybody knows Apple laptops and has used them as long as I have, you know that when that port stops charging, the next one is soon behind it. And then more than likely the computer's going to go. So, or you can't travel with it. And so before that happens, I'm hoping to upgrade. And it's been a while. I mean, this computer is a 2015 and she's been doing pretty darn well, I would have to say. So it's so busy. I actually am looking forward to this weekend. We'll get into it, but I think Virgos are going to have a very busy weekend. So actually, from what I can see, what you plan on doing is exactly in line with what the energies are in line for you. So we'll go from there. All right, so 20 minutes on the clock. Cora's going to read. I am going to finish working on, or continue working on, the outline for book 1 for the Roseland Chronicles, Secrets of the Penitentiary, because I need to outline book 1 before I can continue working on book 2. And I do have to say, I'm going to add this in for any of my writer friends. I actually did kind of switch my outline out to more of a screenplay form, where I have act 1, scene 1, and then like certain, like I'll have the way I've notated the dialogue and the scenes and like the description of the locations and stuff like that. I have actually found that it's a lot easier to reference and to look at when going back on my notes. And also, side note, I realized I had to put in the page numbers for even quicker reference. So yeah, that is what I'm going to, there's my ADD in full effect right there. I had to change that out. So that is what I'm going to be working on for this 20 minutes. And I will see you guys then in 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to mute yourself. All right, guys, time's up on that sprint. So I was able to get quite a bit done, but then I hit a roadblock because I totally forgot that when my editor and I cut ties, that one of the things that we were in the middle of communications on is chapter 6. She got confused of the storyline because in the dungeon, Ari investigates. During this chapter, Ari is investigating the dungeon, and she discovers a lot of different rooms. And there's like 4 different hidden rooms that she discovers. And I had to do it this way because, granted, each room was a separate journey, but you know, I could have written a book about each time she found a room. So I ended up reading into the comments, and I saw that Cora had decided to go through her old notes, and she found that she actually already wrote the plot line. Headed, I might be able to catch the last sprint. Okay, girl, drive safe. Oh, and hello to Dr. Zero from Magic Secrets. Hello. So the thing is I decided, well, I need to go back since I hit a roadblock with where I was, and I'm going to have to rewrite the remaining chapters to where she stopped editing, because I think she stopped editing at like chapter 10. I decided to go back and retrieve all of my notes for my current book series. No, you're not seeing things. Yes, that's several notebooks of stuff. And first of all, I am super stoked because I've been looking for this for a while, which is the actual timeline of the dreams, because this is the original dream book from all the dreams that I had for many years that the entire story is based off of. Okay. And I've forgotten that in the front of it, I actually wrote how, like, because it starts in the penitentiary, then it goes to the broken house, then it goes to the mansion, then the hillside, then the trailer park, then the school, then the starting point, then back to the trailer park, then back to the mansion, and then back to the starting point, then back to the broken house, and then it goes back to the stairs, where then we move on to the old house, the club, the freeway, the apartments, the mall, the hidden city, the train station. And that's not even mentioning the cliffs, the creek, the campgrounds, the sand dunes, the everything else. But this is pretty much like the first half of the dreams before we go into, this is like the part, all the areas that Ari discovers to break out of the shield and the containment in which Alex and his sister, the mistress, has put everybody in between the two worlds. I told you it's complicated if you all haven't been listening to my live streams in the past. So I went back and I was just like, old notes too. And I also thought to myself, because originally I wrote out this book in detail for chapters that I started working off of. So that portion that I wrote in like 2012. Okay, so it was the second version, because here's the first version. You can tell because it's like way old computer paper. But this version was actually the whole book, just by chapters. And I realized that the first book only went halfway through these notes. So it just, when I started thinking about, the plot line, I could, like, why am I writing outline notes? Why don't I go back and look at my notes? I suddenly started remembering. And I've had to modify the story so much because there's literally so much detail to it that, yeah, condensing it, what we got into the first book of 300 pages it's minimalist compared to what there is. Because all those locations that I just named, I even have drawings for. So this has been a long time project in the coming, and still my favorite. So this is one town with all the complications where I mentioned the apartments, the mall, and everything else. And where is it? Where are you? This is the other town that I talked about that has the penitentiary and everything else in it. And then here's another breakdown of the storyline and the locations and everything else. Because this is an even broader view of that. Oh gosh, there's just so much. But anyway, yeah, Cora kind of sent me on a complete and utter deep dive because she was like, oh, I went back and looked at my book notes. And I'm like, oh, let me do the same. Oh yeah. And then not only that, but I'm currently working off of book notes for book number 2 already. There's so many notes. There's so much in my head. And there's still so much that I haven't written down, you guys, because it's just, there's too much. There's literally just too much information in my head. Oh, especially with the streams. And I've been trying to get this book out for years, and eventually it'll happen. So I just thought that I would share all that because Cora made me deep dive, but this goes all the way back to, I don't even know how old that writing is, but this goes all, gosh. I have a date in here somewhere. I should honestly look at it. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, there's the first one. There's a kiss from 2010. So it's at least been 14 years. Anyway, that's so funny. So that was that. And then, yeah, what I said we were actually going to get into. Yuletime dinners. So for those of you that are practicing practitioners or active practitioners or private practitioners or whatever the heck you are, and to some of my students that come and reference this for information because we can't touch base, I wanted to share with you a little bit about Yule. And this is a little cheat sheet that I got from the Hour of the Witchery. You can find this online. I believe it's on Pinterest as well. I highly recommend it because when I was Googling stuff and I was doing research for it, Google popped up this page for me. And I was like, that is literally everything that I'm looking for. So I was like, cheat sheet, quick reference, love those. We're going to use it. So instead of creating my own, I'm using this one as a cheat sheet because it aligns with everything. And you'll see why. So the date is December 20th. This year it actually falls on December 21st, which is the honorable solstice. So it actually works very well. It is a Capricorn Aquarius zodiac sign. The symbols are the Yule log. And if you don't know what a Yule log, it can come in many different forms. The one version is a pastry mixed with fruits and nuts. Another Yule log is a chocolate cake wrapped with vanilla cream. So there's two kinds of Yule logs. Most of them, they're usually served with some sort of fruit. Okay. Then we've got your holly, your mistletoe, your evergreen. You've got bells, wreaths, lights, ornaments, snowflakes to decorate your altar with. And if you notice, it's kind of what I have over here. What is for incense and oils? And if you're wondering, that is frankincense. So we have, for incense and oils, we have cedar, pine, myrrh, frankincense, cinnamon, orange, juniper, and cloves. And it is, y'all are going like, yes, this is holiday stuff. Well, a lot of the seasonal Christmas and holiday stuff is based off of the true pagan rituals in and around this holidays. And a lot of those focused on the plants and the herbs and the things that were in abundance during the holidays. So for animals, we have reindeer. Gotta love that. Robins, bears, owls, squirrels, goats, wolves, foxes, and cardinals. For food, we have roasted meats, filet mignon. And I want to give a shout out to my sister Tammy for sending our family the Omaha Steaks package because, yeah, we're so looking forward to having some yummy yummies. So thank you for that. We have grains, dried fruits and nuts, which is why fruitcake, Yule log type thing. Baked goods, obviously. Cedar wine, piggy pudding, fruitcakes, and mincemeat pie. If you've never had a mincemeat pie, you're not missing out. Go with the pecan pie instead. Okay. Anyway, spell work. And this is for all of us witches. This one I changed up a little bit differently, simply because the energies are a little bit different for this holiday season. Renewal and rebirth work, shadow work, inner peace, spiritual growth, and healing. Okay. This weekend is a powerful weekend for shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is deep meditation where you look at the darker inner parts of yourself that you keep hidden, that you normally don't necessarily want to venture into, but you probably should. So that is what this weekend is really good for. Okay. For the deities, we have Apollo and Idun, or Odin, depending on how you want to pronounce it. For colors, we have gold, white, red, green, silver, blue, which are all represented behind me on my mini altar. That's why I set this up, because I wanted to make it a little bit so you had an example. Herbs are evergreen, mistletoe, peppermint, holly, bay leaf, cinnamon, rosemary, orange peel, yarrow, poinsettia, ivy, especially white-tipped ivy, which is my favorite, and jasmine. And then your crystals are just going to be like the same colors. You just pretty much stick with the colors when it comes to the crystals and the candles that you're going to use, which, clear quartz, citrine, garnets, emeralds, snowflake obsidians, rubies, bloodstones. So a lot of times when my clients ask, how do I decorate my altar? I pretty much tell them, go by what are the common flavorings of the season, and B, what are the common colors? And Yule and Christmas are usually the easiest. So next, I kind of wanted to show you guys a little bit of how I set this up. Some people might not like to do it this way because they are not hands-on with paper. I, having been an admin for many, 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 many years, enjoy doing all the paperwork and the little things behind the scenes and organization. So I shared a little while ago how I start dinner prep with my little checklist. And basically what you have here is I give myself options. So as you can see, I have appetizers, a total of 3 to 8 selections. And I do the same thing for all of them. Drinks are pretty much the same way. I give myself several options with drinks because with a dinner party, I like to have options for the morning or for the main dinner and then for the desserts. Okay. So, and then down here, you can see how I kind of keep them up with tabs. So what I usually do is I will print these out. Okay. I will print all of them out. Then I will go through and I will highlight all the ingredients. And for some of you, this is where you're going to be like, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to tell you this. You only have to do it once because we have a save button. Okay. I then go through and I take down I put all the ingredients into a spreadsheet. I have not done that yet. As some of you know, I was fighting Crohn's. And Crohn's, since it's an autoimmune disease, then initiated my fibromyalgia, which caused everything to swell up, which is why my wrist is hurting. So typing today was about as much as I could do because my fingers are already swollen. I can feel it. They're shaking already. You can probably tell by the way I'm holding them too. So I haven't had time to type the stuff into my Excel sheet yet. But what I basically do is I will go through and I will color code. I'll make a tab for each, for the appetizers, for, basically following your key. You make a tab per key. Okay. Then in the long form, you do the name of the item. And in the short form, you do the ingredients. And you do this because once you lay out the table, you're going to be able to easily see where common ingredients are. And here's why. it's kind of like accounting when you're doing a spreadsheet. Obviously, you're going to add up basically point out in everywhere what the most familiar ingredient is, and then work from there. And the reason that I do this is because A, you're not going to spend a fortune buying a bunch of different ingredients. If everything calls for rosemary, obviously, if you buy rosemary, you're going to be using it all. Especially if it comes to like specialty stuff like anise. But you want to also be careful that you're not being overwhelming with a single kind of flavor. So I always say if you're going to do something strong like anise, do something light like lemon. Okay. So basically, that's how you're going to do it. And I haven't gotten the chance to do it, but I have gotten the chance to spread this out. And then once you're able to do that, you group it. And if you did it like I did it, and you do it that way, the way I explained it, you will have multiple dinners that you can actually work out at one time. So that's why I said, if you do this right the first time, you'll actually only have to do it once, because then you can go through and you can be like, well, last time we did a lot with orange. Maybe this meal, we did orange and anise as the main flavors for the last meal. Maybe we can do, almond and lemon for this one. And yeah. I'm upset because I haven't been able to break that down as much as I've wanted to, simply because I literally had a 24-hour period where I was held up on the couch. I hate having Crohn's. And unfortunately, it was my mother's fruitcake that triggered it. I love my mother. This is one of those things where, again, I have to give up something I love because my stomach won't handle it. So anyway, that is a short-term version. Hopefully, eventually, because I want to do this again for my for Embolic. I want to do a springtime dinner or luncheon type thing. So I'm going to continue working on this. I'm going to continue with the spreadsheet, and hopefully by when Embolic comes up, I can use either this or the Embolic luncheon as a better example to show you how to do it. I am doing this because, like I said, I had to leave a lot of stuff behind a couple years ago when I left a very bad situation. And so I'm rebuilding all of I used to have a binder that was like party planning stuff. Lost it all. So I'm going to redo it all. And this is the perfect way to do it. So on that note, we're going to jump into another sprint real quick. And then at the end of that, we are going to go over the horoscopes, the last little bit. And after that sprint, we will go into the weekend forecast for the horoscopes. Okay. Yeah. My wrist is really just throwing a fit today, man. All right. So I am actually going to pull this up. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to, okay. Give me a second. All right. So I had to move some stuff around. So let me pull this up and we'll jump into the sprint. And then after the sprint, we'll be going over our wonderful horoscope for the weekend. All right. So in 3, 2, 1, and don't forget to Time's up. So time is up on that sprint. And so I'm going to do horoscopes, but I want to show something off real quick if it's still down here. What do I do with it? There it is. So I don't know about the rest of you, but my family and I get together. We like to play games. If you've seen past on my other live streams, an unboxings I've done, I have the Harry Potter Monopoly. Well, we found another game because we don't like the basic games, so we're always looking for the newer version of games. My mom mentioned that she loved the original Life, so I found Life Generations. And here's the back of it. So basically you pick a generation and you play accordingly. And I'm just going to show this real quick. I'm not going to deep dive into it, but they have these cards that you get to choose between, and they have all these instructions. It's really neat. It's really cool. I'm going to see if my family wants to play later this evening. So I will be able to tell you guys. A little ASMR for you. I will be able to tell you guys how it goes. So that was just real quick. I wanted to show that off because I'm going to play that tonight and I wanted to. So let's get into the horoscopy things. Real quick, Cora, you made it back. I'm glad you made it back. There's some stuff. I'm glad that you made it back. And I thought it was interesting because I ran out of, since I have to print some stuff on my work. And this is another reason why I want to get another computer, because I only have so many cords to use and to split between everything. And unfortunately, the same cord I use for my computer, use for my printer, I also use for my microphone. So while I'm streaming, I can't exactly print anything. Pain in the butt, I know. Hopefully we can get it fixed someday. But I decided to turn my attention towards some other things. And I started working on the Law T channel. And I just wanted to mention this because as we're getting into horoscopy things and weird coincidences and interesting stuff, I am excited and waiting for the 7-year mark with the Abby Lee Miller situation because of Dance Moms. I want the filing. I can't wait till it becomes public information. Anyway, I just was doing some research from the Law T channel to figure out, when should I keep an eye out for it? I did not realize that Abby went to jail literally 4 days after my accident where I crossed over to the other side. She actually was indicted on the day that I woke up because unfortunately I was not here for 3 days or not conscious for 3 days. So I found that very interesting, very ironic, very just like, because I wondered why I had kind of missed, like I knew it was coming because I was a huge Dance Moms fan, obviously. But 2016 was a very rough year for me. Very rough year for me. Extremely rough year for me, obviously, because of what happened in 2017. So I kind of missed a couple of years on the social front of the world front because I had to turn so much inward to focus on things. So I just found that coincidental that just so happened to be the day that I woke up back into this world was the same day that Abby was put into a new world herself. Just coincidental. Anyway, getting on with it. So earlier, beginning of the live stream, I mentioned all the different energies coming in today. We've got our 12-12 manifestation portal with the strong energies because it equals 24. What is the end of the year? 24. What are we at the end of year 24? So we've got that with 12-12 today. Then we've got Friday the 13th tomorrow, which for anybody who knows, that is a very strong, powerful manifestation day for anybody who is Wiccan because our ancestors are on our side. Then we have the the full moon coming in on the 15th, which is the long moon, which is our Gemini long moon. And it's in Gemini, which is allowing you duality. Not only that, but it's the cold moon and the long moon. So this is a great time for inward shadow work, time to do some deep diving into yourself. And a lot of the signs are seeing this. The more sensitive signs are referencing to protect themselves on the inward. The stronger signs are being referenced to pull back. We'll get into each individual sign in a second, but the only other two things I wanted to mention was Venus and Mars opposition continues. Venus and Pluto's conjunction continues, which causes all of the deep emotions to come up. Then we have the moon's conjunction with Mars on the 18th and the December solstice on the 21st. And I believe we stream again. Yes, we do. We stream again before those two events come, but still, because of the transition and the movements of things, they are going to influence and impact into next week. Okay. So for Aries, confidence may take a little bit of time to come in this weekend. Okay. Pluto and Venus are causing you to have deeper emotions and less ego, which to Aries, you don't like emotions. You tend to avoid emotions. Therefore, this is not necessarily a good time for you. Okay. The conjunction with Mars is also causing disconnecting and frustrating energy. And this is kind of what we were reiterating about today as well, is that because all the energies are causing you to turn inward, you're not going to be very aware of how everybody else is acting. And because you can be very forceful in your actions as a fire sign, be careful that you don't burn people. Okay. As the week, try to be more patient and walk away before reacting, continuing into Friday and Saturday. As we move towards the full moon, more confidence is going to come in, which is going to allow you to look over the past opportunities that were missed during this rough transition where you pretty much had to turn inward, and you'll be able to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Okay. Use this time to figure out better ways to navigate the energies versus just avoiding them. It's an excellent time to express yourself socially. So those conversations to maybe weed out details of things is in good. You've got good energy towards it. Also towards your reputation standing. They were showing us, my angels were pushing a strong PR front for Aries, that if there's anything you need to fix on the public relations front, this might be the time to do it. Go energies to practice the speech, perfect energies to practice the speech or the presentation that you might need to do coming next week. Tauruses, that's pretty much all it is for Aries. Aries, it's pretty simple. Start of the week, watch your ego, protect yourself, turn inwards if need be, and then come into Saturday, Sunday, work on that project. It's a good time for communications and to focus, to express yourself. So, you know, you spent a couple of days kind of hidden this week. Use the weekend to smooth things over. Taurus. Oh, damn, that was strong. Also, they're referencing for Aries, because Mercury retrograde is ending and Jupiter is coming in with a strong influence with you because of the conjunction with the moon and growth and abundance. Do be aware that your self-expression isn't forceful in making people change, but more convincing in making them change, if that makes sense. Okay, so for Taurus, highly active and overwhelming emotional energies continue into Friday. Give yourself some time this weekend with the full moon to be a little bit kinder to yourself. Okay. Not everybody needs to see your viewpoint in order for you to steadfast in your views. Okay. Give yourself Mars Virgo in opposition is going to influence it's going to influence a lot of emotion. So you want to avoid situations that can be tricky or overwhelming. If you know you're going to a cocktail party with that aunt or uncle or friend or whatever that likes to manipulate situations, see if there's a way to get out of it this weekend. Okay. Not the best time for it. Calming and communication centered energies with Mercury ending its retrograde is going to come in for you on towards the ends of Saturday. This is going to be a good way. You're going to be able to center and focus your energies a little bit better, because with Pluto's influence, it's encouraging more meaningful conversations. So use this time to get deeper and basically dive into your own complexities of the relationships to see if you're happy or if you're not. With this Gemini moon, it's a good time to find that balance. Are you happy in the middle, or are you leaning to one side or the other? Hammer out the smaller details that might be missed and just, smooth things over. Like I said, oftentimes there's an overarching kind of energy that comes in for the weekends for most signs. And Tauruses, you're very much with that arc this week, okay? Or this weekend. Geminis, you have highly reactive, emotionally charged energies start off the weekend. It's the same thing, same duality, Geminis, that you've been dealing with all week. And this is only going to intensify with the full moon. Okay. Sometimes having the full moon in your sign isn't necessarily good if your sign is one of those that tends to find balance in bouncing between things. Okay. Be mindful that your reactions are justified before reacting. The angels came in strong with this, saying that they're not saying that you shouldn't react, because make sure that you're validated in what you're reacting to. Sometimes it's better just to keep that argument internal. Okay. Although the energy has lifted in intensity because of Mercury retrograde, be aware of the sensitive energies because of the full moon, that you feel might be a little aloof for the next couple of days. Okay. Remember to keep your feet on the ground. Do grounding activities to make sure that you are staying centered in whatever is happening in your life. Again, sometimes it's not good to have such strong energies like a full moon in your sign. Use the energies to repair any details on the inward level, and things have been bubbling to the surface for both Virgos and Geminis. This is going to be a good moon to do that shadow work, to maybe figure out why and what it is that's causing those emotions to bubble to the surface. Because especially with Geminis, you're going to have the good energies this weekend to make sure that you can mend, or not this weekend, coming into the new year, where you can mend old wounds and literally, they're basically saying great energies for deep diving the hidden underbellies of your psyche in order to improve for next year. Okay. Mend the details of the broken pieces, find the problem areas in order to move forward. So basically don't indulge in the details, just make note of them, fix them, and move forward. Okay. So Cancers, there's going to be a huge slowdown for you this weekend. Even though it's a slowdown, that doesn't mean there's not going to be high emotional energy for you. Okay. This is kind of that Gemini balance or Gemini full moon influence coming in for you. Okay. Along with Venus and Pluto, we have a lot of the kind of not conflicting energies, because you don't in the universe, you never really have conflicting energies. They're just more challenging energies to make you better. And that's kind of what Cancers are dealing with a lot right now. Okay. The slowdown and this weekend, because of the full moon, is going to cause you to turn inward if you haven't already, starting today. Okay. Although, again, with the energies being lifted with Mercury, they're referencing that you are going to feel the same level of sensitivity as Geminis, simply because Cancers, you guys are so sensitive. We love you, but our sensitive Cancers. So today is one of those days that you might want to maybe or this weekend is, again, one of those days that maybe Cancers want to harbor in their shell. Not even a tortoise kind of day, literally a hide kind of day. Give me my black box. Nobody's home. Lights out. We will not address the world until Monday, because they are referencing that Monday is going to bring in better, stronger energies with the influence of Mercury, with the influence of Mars' conjunction with the moon. So whatever it is that you want to put your head down and bore through, Cancers, don't this weekend. Leave it until Monday. You'll have better energy starting this weekend. And I feel like for Cancers, I've been repeating that a lot the start of this month, but I even said last month that the first 15 days of December are going to feel very, very rough. I said the first 15 days, we're going to have a lot of energy shifts. We're going to have a lot of action coming in, and has it not been that way? So for Leos, I said this a month ago, guys. So we're just kind of reiterating what I said was going to happen a month ago. All right, so for Leos, strong relationship building energies are coming in, connecting type energies, especially on the personal front. For Leos, if you are one of those people that are in the public eye, if you need to make an impression on somebody, if you need to get that deal signed, this is the weekend to shake those hands and schmooze people over in a good way. You've got the energies on your side. They're referencing clarity and agreements, resolution, compromises. The checklist is just going to go tick, 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 tick this whole weekend. Okay. Use it to your advantage. With this full moon, the same kind of energy is just going to turn inward, but they're referencing that there's not really going to be a slowdown for you because the fixing and repairing is actually just going to keep going as the weekend continues with this full moon, because you are getting a solution-oriented, goal-oriented kind of energy where it's just get her done, girl. I literally have so get her done, girl written. Okay, that is the Leo energy that's coming in. If people try to get in your way, Leos, this is going to be the type of energy where you kind of need to navigate around them, and you're not leaving anybody behind. You're just moving forward. Okay, Virgos. My lovely Virgos. Okay. This is a happy-go-lucky kind of energy going into the weekend, which don't let it fool you. Okay. It is a time to mend fences. This is the kind of energy that you don't want to just skip down the street, but you actually want to turn around and go, hi, did I kick you? I am sorry. Let me fix that. Okay. It is great energy to fix unresolved issues. Basically, luck is on your side. You have drank. Sorry, computer's distracting me with a pop-up. You have drank that luck potion and it's yours this weekend. However, when Mercury turns retrograde, this is going to be one of those things where it's going to, and with the full moon of Gemini, it's going to kind of scatter your energies. So your focus on being able to make a decision is going to be scattered. That's why I was telling Cora that this weekend is the perfect kind of weekend to just go over those details, finalize that to-do list. Don't necessarily get the to-do list done for you, Virgos. It's more finalize that to-do list for next year. Okay, or for the next coming weeks. Wow, that was a quick correction. Starting the 25th, Virgos, if you're on the good side of karma, this checklist is going to start getting it done. If you're on the bad side of karma, I've already given them the warning about that too many times for Virgos. Libras. Oh, sorry, we're not finished with Virgos. Virgos, being happy is one thing. Sugarcoating things is quite another. Make sure that you're tending to the right side of the emotions. Okay, use this energy to find happiness in your work, and again, finalize that to-do list. Libras. Highly motivating energies are going to start off the weekend for you. It's almost going to feel like a Monday on a Friday. Why? Sorry, blame the planets. Okay. Communications, conversations, understandings, all of it is going to be in the positive future building direction. Mercury turning retrograde is going to be, you are getting disrupted by Mercury's turning from retrograde or ending its retrograde more than anybody. It's almost like they're referencing that you're just going to kind of hit a wall on Saturday into Sunday. Be aware how you choose to express yourself, because once you hit that wall with the full moon's influence, you're going to have a hard time expressing yourself or choosing how to express yourself, because you're going to bounce between those two sides. They're referencing more to use, what is it? What's the word they say? I can hear you. Oh. I have devils in the details. Actions speak louder than words. That's what it is. Actions speak louder than words, and devils in the details. So if you are trying to express yourself this weekend, Libras, go buy the flowers, go buy the candy, do the little things. Libras are usually pretty good at being able to schmoo. You're good with the gifts. So use the gifts to your advantage this weekend. Okay. Once Sunday comes in, I would just use the day to do some self-reflection. figure out how to have better conversations, hopefully. Definitely do shadow work for Libras. That's coming in strong for them. Because basically this kind of energy is going to be hard self-reflection kind of energy, but you still want to be self-soothing, and that's what shadow work does, is it makes you look at those hard things while at the same time self-acceptance, being mindful, self-soothing. That's why I like a lot of the meditations when it comes to shadow work, because I realized in doing shadow work that a lot of DBT type stuff or a dialectical behavioral therapy, for those who don't know, does come in. Okay, so next we have Sat. Oh my gosh, oh, I can't miss that. Oh, wow. What a long time no see. Hi, Jace. How are you? Oh, it's so good. Oh, I forgot your energy, man. It's good to feel your energy again. I can feel you're doing pretty good. I'm glad. Well, I'm going to continue with the horoscopes, but I'm so glad to see you, Jace. Thank you. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. All right, so for Sagittariuses, productive, motivating, organized, constructive energy start off the weekend. Again, they're referencing, don't let this fool you, because I'm telling you, for a lot of you signs that feel very, very productive starting this weekend, the full moon and Mercury retrograde is going to cause kind of that braking action. For some of you, it's the hard braking action. For some of you, it's the light tap on the brake that just kind of gives you that little slowdown. Sagittariuses, this is going to be a little bit harder of a braking for you. Energies full of abundance, focused, oriented going into Saturday, with communications, peaceful, lighthearted energy, it's invigorating type energy. However, with the full moon coming in, this is when it's going to turn inward, and Mercury and the full moon, it's going to cause you to turn inward and start focalizing and deep diving on the depths of your mind. Don't overwhelm yourself with your thoughts, Sagittariuses. This is going to be a great time for you to journal. Don't just sit there and reminisce and get lost and stuck in your little bubble of thoughts and go over and over and over again like a broken record player. Journal, get them out of your head, talk to somebody, however it is that you're able to not reminisce and sit in that energy, Sagittariuses. That is what you're going to need to do this weekend with this full moon and everything else. You can end up being your own worst enemy. Don't. Okay. Learn and strategize to move forward. Not all mistakes are mistakes. Sometimes mistakes are happy lessons, and it takes us a full year to be able to look back and go, you know what? Yeah, that was a screw up, but maybe it wasn't quite so bad. So that is kind of what's going to happen for you, Sagittarius, is this weekend. Capricorns, I have a lot for you. Okay, you're a little bit like Cancers, but a little bit more stubborn. So this energy is really going to set you wonky. if the first 15 days haven't been wonky already, right? For you poor Capricorns. Okay, so highly focused, detail-oriented energies start off the weekend, which aren't really necessarily great for Capricorns. Use this to have the constructive conversations and build your relationships. This is the time to kind of go back and mend anything that you may have screwed up at the beginning of the month, okay? Strong energies towards your memory and intuition. So in these conversations, especially for Capricorns, this is when you're going to want to trust your instincts, kind of like we said for Aries, and maybe decide, is this person good for me? Is this person not good for me? Because if they are, we're going to keep them. If not, we'll get them, take care of them, get them out of our lives. If something feels off, it definitely is. This is one of those times, Capricorns, where you really do trust your energies. Oftentimes, Capricorns, you are the one sign that will go, yeah, even though my gut instinct is telling me to go this way, I'm going to go this way. Don't. Please don't. With how hard it's been already for Capricorns this year, don't set yourself up for failure next year, okay? They're referencing that the focus is going to turn to money struggles when Mercury turns retrograde, which then comes in with the full moon of innovative energies, which you're going to feel upset about your financial situation while at the same time figuring out innovative and creative solutions to it. Okay. So if you're one of those few signs that this weekend you actually don't want to do shadow work, this is actually more of the let's figure out our finances type weekend to figure out how we can best set ourselves up for next year. Because if there's one sign other than Scorpio that struggles with finances, hi Capricorns. Okay. Find creative ways into Sunday to distract yourself and self-soothe. These energies will be very overwhelming for you. Everybody else is going to be in work mode, getting things done, working on themselves, finding fixes and solutions. You're going to feel a bit lost, detached, and aloof. So make sure that you're doing self-distracting work and you're not overloading yourself. All right. Capricorns, it's just the way that you guys are lined up in your charts, kind of like Virgos. All right. Aquarius is productive, focused, detail-oriented type energy, but you're also going to feel that pull towards money and finances as well, but with a high dose in the work department. Okay. So yes, the money is going to be the underlying factor, but it's going to be more like not how can I make a big buck, but where is my long-term stable financial income. Okay. That is what Aquariuses are feeling the pull for. You're also craving more meaning in the projects and the people. So Aquariuses, if you're on the bad side of karma right now, you might be reassessing your entire work situation. You actually might be looking at making a complete 180 in your work field or your work department, or the universe might be doing it for you. In that case, they're referencing that you're going to need to be mindful of other people's situations and find creative ways to express yourself and your feelings other than just lashing out with your verbal tongue. Aquariuses, when it comes to your social, because of these highly emotionally charged energies, you're not going to come off to people the way you normally would. That sweet talking, charismatic type personality is not going to be there. It's going to come off flamboyant, egotistical, and passive aggressive. So actions speak louder than words. You're kind of dealing with the same energies that Libras are dealing with, okay? This full moon brings in a very deep-seated pull towards communications, but be wary not to give advice where it's not wanted or needed, okay? Don't step on people's toes. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, okay? Be mindful. They're referencing, and this is kind of I questioned on putting this in my live stream because this sounds a bit selfish, but I just want to I made it pretty so that I would remember to put this on note. For Aquariuses, just because you think you know everything doesn't mean that there isn't more to learn. Okay. Just because you think you know all the facts doesn't mean that there might be actual facts that you just didn't know existed. Okay. The evil dragon side of Aquarius will come out this, unfortunately. Yes, it is definitely the Ryle the Dragon type of weekend for the Aquarius. And Jace, yes, because normally you can come off very passive, very informative, and it's going to be hard to get your point across. So, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of flashing me to times, Jace, where you just kind of stayed quiet on Discord, and they're referencing that, yeah, this would be one of those times where, yeah, you just conversate internally. You know, you want to yell and scream, go ahead and yell and scream, just push the mute button type thing. All right, so Pisces, this is for Miss Jeannie Noble as well. Strong, curious, and adventure energies are coming in this weekend. This is going to be a great time to be out with the kids, grandkids, Friday into Saturday. Okay. You're going to need a strong need to find comfort and satisfaction in the areas or projects, which is why I highly recommend, if you are a grandparent or a parent, spend some time with your kids this weekend. You're going to get a lot of satisfaction from it, and they as well too. Okay. Be mindful of your communication still, though, because as the full moon comes in and Mercury turns retrograde, your communications can come off a little aggressive, kind of like Aquariuses do. Okay. Sensitive energies of others can affect how your sharp tongue and factual truths. When people are sensitive, they don't like facts. we've seen this many a times across TikTok and YouTube's about how people lay down facts and somebody's sensitive and woo doggy do they go off. So just be aware, Pisces, that that's the kind of energy that people are going to have towards you. And I'm just going to apologize now to my mother because I did that, I think yesterday. I didn't mean to. And now I'm looking at it and I'm like, whoops. Okay, so yeah, she gave me truth, very just factual, and I was just like, I'm a sensitive Scorpio, and I was like, hey, so I kind of like, I pinched her with my claws. I often relate into this stuff about the way my mom and I communicate, because as a Pisces or Scorpio and a Pisces, there's a lot I see in the way that she can like just swim and go with the flow, and I'm like the Scorpio panicking over the rushing energies. It cracks me up. So for Pisces, sorry about that, went off on a tangent. Steer towards conversations and avoid being accusatory. This is one of those times that you want to be the listener and not the advice giver. Okay. As the full moon influences, you will be allowed to be more relaxed as they approach things. Pisces, because you guys are so good at just swimming through those crazy energies, this Gemini full moon is not going to affect you as much as others. So just be aware that you may feel fine, but everybody else is on edge. Okay. So I highly recommend just being apologetic, even if you don't want to be or need to be, or even if it's not your fault. Just be like, you know what, I'm sorry. And then you're in your head go, I'm sorry, the universal energies today are just screwing with you and it's not me. I don't know if anybody else does that, but yes, I continue apologies internally in my head. For Scorpios, we're evidently going to say that with an accent now. Really? Okay, for us Scorpios, productive and detail-oriented energies are going to start the weekend, and we're already feeling this today. I mean, we're like, I've been go and getting things done all morning. Good energies to coalesce with the family and home and work life and finding the perfect balance. Divine energies are actually on our side, Scorpios, for complete communications and projects in the work sector. And I didn't believe that when I heard it come in on meditations. However, I checked 2 other horoscope websites and they literally had the word divine in the Scorpio horoscope. And I was like, okay, I guess divine energy is on our side. So Scorpios, we got divine energy on our side. Mercury is not going to have as much of a dramatic influence on us, simply because Pluto, who is in our ruler, is basically in connection with Venus. So it's helping us balance out our emotions. And us Scorpios, we're used to the deep-seated underlying emotions with the depth and the mystery and all that. So this is like, we're just looking at everybody else going, yeah, welcome to our world. This is how we live normally. How does it feel? Anyway, use this energy to your advantage to have pleasant conversations with multiple different people. If you're one of those that have to do public relations or speech giving, Scorpios, you will woo the crowds this weekend. All right. So that is what is coming in this weekend for all the signs. Next week, just be aware that we do have the conjunction of the moon with Mars coming in. And after that, the week after that, or actually that Sunday, we have winter solstice. Saturday, we have winter solstice. So those are some things coming up. That is the horoscopes for everybody. On another news front of things coming up, I just want to remind everybody that Cora and I are going to be launching our Law Tea with Cora and Kibby starting the new year. I would love to know if anybody wants to leave comments. Would you rather it be a recorded stream, or would you rather it be a live stream? Because I want to throw it up in the air with Cora to see if maybe doing a live stream, it would be better, and then posting the recording later. So if there's anybody who's interested in listening, let me know. If you don't want to leave a comment below, those of you who know how to get a hold of me other ways, go ahead and get a hold of me other ways. I know some of you don't like necessarily commenting on YouTube, and I understand why. So on that note, Thank you all, everybody, from Chase to Cora to Dr. Zero to Banks Bills, for coming in and staying and watching with us today. I really do appreciate it. Like and subscribe so that the algorithm will let you know. I am here every Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Central Time. So you're welcome to come back for next week's live stream or whatever. You know, I'm a professional here. I mix up my words. What do you want from me? Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.